I never used to think much about the porch light. It was just something my dad insisted on leaving on every night, even when electricity bills got tight. He'd say it made the house feel occupied, like it was keeping watch. I always thought that was kind of dumb, until the night it started blinking. It wasn't a normal flicker either. It turned off, stayed off for a few seconds, then snapped back on. Over and over again, like someone was flipping a switch deliberately. I remember standing at the window, watching it, trying to convince myself it was just a wiring issue. Then my phone buzzed. It was my dad. It said, "Don't look outside." I actually laughed a little when I read it. I thought he was joking, maybe messing with me, because he knew I was home alone. Then another message came through. "I'm serious. Stay away from the windows." At that point, something about it felt off. My dad doesn't joke like that. So I texted back, "Why not?" He didn't respond right away. The porch light kept blinking in that same slow, deliberate pattern. Off, then on, and then off, and then on again. Then my phone buzzed again. It said, "That's not our light." I froze because I was still staring at it. And that's when I noticed something I hadn't before. The light wasn't illuminating the porch. It was lighting up something standing just outside of it. Something that stayed perfectly still every time the light turned on, and moved closer every time it went dark. I don't remember stepping back from the window, but suddenly I was across the room. My phone buzzed one last time. It read, "If it reaches the door, it means you saw it." The porch light went out again, and this time it didn't come back on. The alert came through at exactly 2:17 a.m. That awful, blaring tone ripped me out of sleep, and for a second, I thought it was an Amber Alert or something routine. But the message on my screen didn't look normal. Emergency broadcast. Do not look outside. That was it. No explanation, no location, just that. I sat there half awake, trying to process it. My first instinct was to check social media, but nothing had updated yet. No news, no posts, nothing. Just that message. Then it came through again. Same tone, same words. Do not look outside. That's when I noticed the silence. No cars, no wind, no insects. It was like the entire world had just stopped. And then I heard it, a faint tapping, coming from my bedroom window. Slow, irregular, like fingernails brushing against the glass. I pulled the blanket over my head like a kid, even though I knew how stupid that was. My heart was pounding so hard I could feel it in my throat. The tapping stopped. For a few seconds, there was nothing. Then my phone buzzed again. This time, the message was different. If you hear it, it has already seen you. I didn't move. I didn't breathe. And then my phone lit up with one final alert. Check all mirrors. I don't know why I did it, I really don't. But I slowly lowered the blanket and turned my head toward the closet mirror across the room. At first, everything looked normal. My bed, my door, the dark outline of my room. And then I realized something was wrong. The reflection in the mirror was showing the outside of my window, and something was standing there, looking in, even though my back was turned to it. The house across from mine had been empty for years. No one ever moved in. No lights, no cars, nothing. It just sat there, slowly falling apart while the rest of the neighborhood moved on. So when I saw all the lights were turned on one night, it immediately felt wrong. Not exciting, not interesting, just wrong. I stood at my front window, staring across the street. Every room in that house was lit up, like someone had turned everything on at once. Then I noticed the figures. There were people inside. At least, I think they were people. They moved strangely, like they were trying to mimic normal behavior without actually understanding it. One of them stood in the living room, turning its head too far each time it looked around. Another walked into the kitchen, then walked backward out of it. I should have looked away. I know that now, but I didn't. And then all at once, they stopped moving. Every single one of them, at the exact same time. And slowly, they all turned toward me. Even from across the street, I could feel it. They were looking directly at me. The lights in their house shut off instantly. The entire place went dark. I stood there for a few seconds, trying to calm down, telling myself it had to be some kind of trick of the light. Then my phone buzzed. It was a text from an unknown number. You made eye contact. I felt my stomach drop. Another message came through. Do not look outside again. I stepped away from the window, closing the curtains with shaking hands. I didn't sleep that night. I didn't look outside the next day either. But around sunset, curiosity got the better of me. Just for a second, I told myself, just a quick glance. So I peeked through the curtain. The house was empty again. Dark, silent, abandoned. Except now there was someone standing on my porch, perfectly still, facing the door, waiting for me to look outside again. If you made it this far, hopefully you kept your eyes exactly where they belong, because some things don't need an invitation. They just need a glance. And once they know you've seen them, they don't forget. So tonight, when it gets quiet, and you feel that urge to check outside, just remember, it might already be waiting for you to look. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to like and subscribe to True Terra. And until next time, stay safe